And they're off. Sunlit and Luminous Secret were the first two to respond. Aero Nix now moving forward on the inside, but shuffled and checked back to second to last. Bit of early trouble there for Aero Nix at the opening 16th of a mile. As they move to the main portion of the track, Sunlit clear. Sunlit over to the inside. Now, just off the inside, actually, is Sunlit leading the way. Second is Luminous Secret. Up on the outside, I Need You Babe is in third. Aero Nix fourth. Has recovered. Back to Boys Go to Jupiter. Gravity Hill is trailing the field. 5/8 from home. Sunlit leads the way with Julio Hernandez. Sunlit from Luminous Secret just second. Aero Nix on the inside. I Need You Babe in the second flight chase, while three wide as they edge around the far turn. Boys Go to Jupiter. Gravity Hill. Sunlit takes them round the far turn. Sunlit by some 2 lengths. Sunlit the one to catch. Luminous Secret. I Need You Babe there, nose to nose. A second on the outside, now with 3 furlongs to run. Aero Nix under a ride to slip back to fourth position. Back to Gravity Hill, driving and trailing the field as Boys Go to Jupiter about the 4 path. They're into the stretch with a quarter of a mile left to run. Sunlit narrow lead. Here's I Need You Babe. I Need You Babe has the stamina, goes on with it. I Need You Babe by 2. Sunlit hangs on to second for now. It's Luminous Secret on the outside with 1 furlong left to go. Then Boys Go to Jupiter. I Need You Babe and Jevion Toledo. They're bounding home by 3 with a 16th left to run. Luminous Secret has picked up second, giving game chase to I Need You Babe. I Need You Babe clear by 4. Time was a minute 42.53. Burnsworth and Riley McDonald, Anthony Ferrier trainer. I Need You Babe is a 4-year-old Doc Bear Brown Audible out of Consecrate. And they're off. Riley's Crybaby was out first. Miami Sherrod hustled up for early speed, and Hey Alexa's right there, and Tasty Time right there in the early mix too, racing along in third position. Miami Sherrod's fired up and on the lead today. Riley's Crybaby is second, and Tasty Time is in third position. Now has to kick through near the inside. A trailing field back there is a Field the Bolt, as leading the way is Miami Sherrod's. Miami Sherrod's Riley's Crybaby drifting to the way outside fence there. Tough to handle. Tasty Time has moved quickly to second. Hey Alexa, Great White Fleet, Feel the Bolt, and Riley's Crybaby being eased up out of the race and racing toward the center of the track. They race for home now, and it's Tasty Time who's taken over at will. Tasty's Time. It's Miami Shiraz trying to hang on to second under a drive, but Great White Fleet moves up on the outside. From between horses, Feel the Bolt on for share. Hey Alexa's at the rail, even paced in fourth. 1 furlong left to run, and it's Tasty Time by 5. Great White Fleet, Feel the Bolt is third, and Hey Alexa fourth. Tasty Time. Angel Cruz, graduation time odds on for Tasty Time. Great White Fleet, Feel the Bolt, Hey Alexa. Tasty Time. Angel Cruz, owned by Gainey Brothers Racing, trained by Kenny Cox, bred in Maryland by Dr. Michael Harrison. For In the rough. Long-legged Louise just a beat slow to go. Tis the Great and Plenty on tap, getting the first calls out, flying to work, and Q got hops there on the far outside. Long-legged Louise racing a bit off the inside, is in the back, though only 5 off the speed of Tis the Great. Tis the Great from flying to work by a half length, and Q got hops tracking along in the clear. Plenty of tap back and forth while saving ground past the 5 furlong mark. Long-legged Louise is trailing now only 4.5 or 5 off of Tis the Great. Tis the Great in control, no excuses today. Tis the Great from flying to work in second. Outside is Q. Got hops trying to move up out 3 deep, and Plenty of tap on the inside, ridden along but dropping back, and Long-legged Louise trying to unwind on the far outside. It is Tis the Great by some 3 lengths from flying to work, and then Q got hops and Long-legged Louise. Plenty on tap phase to last. Toward the top of the stretch, and it's Tis the Great by some 3 lengths. Flying to work, Long-legged Louise. The far outside, and Q got hops is fourth, well off the inside as they turn for home. It's Tis the Great by 2 lengths. Long-legged Louise trying to stretch those legs to the far outside. Flying to work is next, and then Q got hops. Eighth of a mile left to run. Long-legged Louise from last, Toledo, and Long-legged Louise from Tis the Great. And then flying to work, Long-legged Louise skips along to a 2-length score from Tis the Great. And then flying to work, and Q got hops. Long-legged Louise. Jevy and Toledo Anthony Ferrier team up for 2, owned by Boston Boys Racing LLC. 3-year-old Doc Bear Brown gelding by Opportunity out of Beantown Bunny by Mucho Macho Man. Brennan Maryland. And they're off. Bushido sent along to a sharp start from Cold Feet. Bushido quickly puts 2 on Cold Feet, and Captain Quinn between horses hustled up. And Murray is in the inside in fourth. Bushido clears on the sloppy going by some 2 lengths from Captain Quint and Cold Feet second and third. They're head to second. And next is Murray, fourth of the 4. Bushido and Carlos Lopez leading the way. 2.5 lengths in front heading into the turn from Captain Quint. Cold Feet's on the chase, ridden along for a little more. Another 4 or 5 back, and Murray has to pick it up into the far turn, 3 furlongs from home. And a quick speed from Bushido. The opening quarter went in 22 3/5 of a second, but widening the lead now to 6 or 7 lengths. Cold Feet and Captain Quint is driven on the inside. Murray tries to circle around that second flight, is tired. They reach the top of the stretch where it's Bushido still pouring on the speed. By some 7 or 8, Captain Quint cuts that corner. Then to the outside is Murray and Cold Feet between horses through a 46 and 2 half mile. And Bushido all the way. Bushido by 8. Bushido from Murray. It's a birthday win for jockey Carlos Lopez on Bushido. Bushido comfortable and posing for the picture. Bushido from Murray. And then Cold Feet, Captain Quint. Bid at 12.95. Lined up in the rough. Back in the woods, but breezing up is hustled up there. And Caba See You Later's in between horses. And Spotted Bull tracks along in fourth on the rail. Back to Candy Crumbs, who broke last, is now 4 off the lead. And trailing the field is Tiny Lake. Tiny Lake is last, some 6 or 7 off of speed. Breezing up, Spotted Bull pushing through on the inside to prompt the issue. And back in the woods in the pace mix as well. Another 2 to Caba See You Later. Candy Crumbs in a good spot, if good enough, around the far turn, where it's Spotted Bull just in front. Spotted Bull from breezing up and back in the woods out there, 3 deep on the chase. Caba See You Later. Candy Crumbs is ridden along for a little more, has to pick it up, and trailing the field is Tiny Lake well off the inside. Top of the stretch, Spotted Bull takes them in. Spotted Bull from breezing up. The lead is now 2 lengths, and Yeds at Hazelwood pointing. Spotted Bull to the Laurel line, opening up a 3 or 4 length lead. On second, breezing up, and then back in the woods. On the inside is Caba See You Later just for a share. Spotted Bull by 5, almost 6 lengths from breezing up, and then Caba See You Later and Tiny Lake. Minute 5:91. Scarborough. 3-year-old Doc Bear from Gelding by Munnings out of Spotted Heart by Lion. Yeah, they're off. Bit of crowding there at the start as Sin came out a bit. Boss Mode right up there with Sin and Painted Lion is third, and Gonzalo out wide of the track. Back to My Boy Bud, the 2-path, and Tactics on the inside of that runner. Only 6 lengths will cover front to back as they round that turn. And so on the outside, Boss Mode going to go on with it. Leads at 3 parts of a length. Sin rating back in the second spot. 2 back. Painted Lion and Tactics on the inside is in fourth. Then Gonzalo and My Boy Bud is trailing the field. Racing down the back stretch past the 6 for a long mark. Very easy opening quarter, and the sloppy going at 25 and 3 for Boss Mode. Boss Mode from Sin by 2. Painted Lion and Tactics is the gray, racing fourth. Now in between horses, heading over the far turn. Gonzalo is next, only 4.5 off the speed of Boss Mode. It continues to carve out the fractions. My Boy Bud is last, half at 51 and 1, heading into the far turn. Boss Mode in complete control at this point, leads it by some 3 lengths. Painted Lion and Sin and Tactics asked for run from fourth. Scrubbed on from the 4th position, has 5 to make up around the far turn. Gonzalo and My Boy Bud. Boss Mode from Painted Lion by almost 3 lengths, and Sin on the inside is third, trying to play catch up. Tactics off the inside, fourth. They race to the top of the stretch. Boss Mode, Batilda, Burnham still there from Painted Lion in second off the inside. Sin down to the inside, third position, and Tactics is in fourth. Then Gonzalo only for a share, coming to the last furlong. Boss Mode been in charge all the way, still in charge. Boss Mode, Matilda Burnham by 5 with a 16th left to go. Tactics in the scramble for second with Painted Lion. Boss Mode, Tactics closing in. Boss Mode, Tactics. Boss Mode holds on to win for the onrushing Tactics, and then Painted Lion, Sin. Boss Mode is a 3-year-old Gelding by Holy Boss out of Nonica's Thunder by Congrats, bred in Maryland by Joel Politi. And they're off. Ballad of Plata responds immediately and right to the front from Hickson. And then No More Calls and Dancing Danae racing outside of the blue cap. The quartet moves onto the main portion of the track where it's Ballad de Plata. Out there going comfortably is the gray in the early stages by almost 4 lengths from Hickson in second. No More Calls is on the inside about 6 lengths off of Ballad de Plata. The odds-on favorite at Dancing Danae is the trailer. Heading down the backstretch, and it's Ballad de Plata just cruising right along 5.5 furlongs out. And about a 4-length advantage from Hickson, who's in the 2-path, and No More Calls right there to his inside. Another 5 lengths back, and Dancing Danae is fourth of the 4. Heading to the turn, Bala de Plata, as Hickson tries to move forward from second under a ride. Hickson now moving up within 3 of Bala de Plata. Bala de Plata still going comfortably after 24-3 opening quarter, half and 48 and 4. Bala de Plata from Hickson, who's ridden for more from second, 2.5 lengths behind. No More Calls at the rail, even clip in third, and Dancing Danae. A race to the top of the stretch. Bala de Plata turns in with a 2.5, 3-length lead. Just off the inside, Bala de Plata floating out wide as there are a quarter of a mile left to go. Has it by a length and a half. Hickson on the outside now trying to give Bala de Plata a challenge. Bala de Plata, Hickson, Bala de Plata, Hickson. Hickson gets ahead in front from Bala de Plata, who's got to come back for more. Hickson gets clear with 1 furlong left to go, leaving Bala de Plata the favorite back in second. Hickson and Sheldon Russell, and they're bounding home full stride by some 4 or 5. Hickson, home free. Hickson from Bala de Plata, and then Dancing Danae. Minute 40.75. And they're off. Hockey out first with Sweet Honey Bee to the inside. And then What's Your Big Idea is in the early mix two, moving up as they move onto the main portion of the track. And Rehoboth Avenue is splitting horses as well. So Rehoboth Avenue and Hockey, they're head-to-head for the lead. What's Your Big Idea right there in between them are going a good pace for this group. Sweet Honey Bee quite content to settle in fourth position right in the inside. And Julie is a Fox second to last. And Poor Man's Lady trailing the field. Poor Man's Lady got to be about 15 off the speed of What's Your Big Idea. Has the lead by 2 from Hockey, who's on the chase. Then Rehoboth Avenue in third. Julia's a Fox is next. Sweet Honey Bee is on the inside. Second to last and 5 lengths off the speed of What's Your Big Idea. Another 5 back, and it's Poor Man's Lady trailing. Into the far turn, What's Your Big Idea? Hockey on the outside. And then it's Julia's a Fox. Coming off the inside is Sweet Honey Bee looking to split horses from fourth and on the move from third now at the 3 ace pole as they head to the second wire finish. They turn for home, more than a quarter of a mile to go to the second line. What's Your Big Idea? Drifting well off the inside. Extreme outside is Hockey right there. They face off now with 3/16 left to run, and it's Sweet Honey Bee on the inside, still with a chance. Sweet Honey Bee trying to dig down to the inside. Hockey out of the middle of the track. Hockey in front, holding sway by almost 3 lengths. Sweet Honey Bee and battling with What's Your Big Idea from between horses. Rehoboth Avenue and his split horses trying to run into the exacta. Poor Man's Lady from dead last on the extreme outside, but it's Hockey. Hockey from second. Poor Man's Lady in the photo with Rehoboth Avenue. Pick 6 returns 444.60, 6 of 6.